welcome to session 10. In this session we're going to cover arpeggios, finger picking, a little bit about fingerstyle technique, what's good hand technique for finger picking. We're going to talk about, I'm going to give you some simple finger patterns. As well, we're going to talk about Merle Travis style guitar, very popular, kind of a country style. I'm sure you'll recognize it once we start getting into it. We're also going to talk a little bit about classical guitar and the techniques that you use for that. In the guitar tips section, we're going to cover how to get control of your playing. Speed versus control. The only way you can get speed is through control. So we're going to talk about that. So I hope you're ready. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let's talk about fingerstyle guitar and finger picking. We use arpeggios, which is a new term for you, a new concept for you. All an arpeggio is, we've done our chords, a D chord, let's say I'm doing a G chord. Okay, all an arpeggio is I take the notes of those chords and instead of playing all together, I break them up. If I was at a G chord, it'd be like this. So instead of going, if I was to arpeggiate that or use an arpeggio, it'd be something like. That's all an arpeggio is. Now, in order to get good fingerstyle technique, there's a couple things we need to always keep in mind. And it all starts with some very key right hand concepts. We're going to be mainly dealing with this hand for this session today. So here's how you can start to have a good right hand position when you're starting fingerstyle stuff. The first thing you need to have is a very relaxed hand. Okay? So how we're going to do that, I want you to just take your hand, take your arm, put it down to your side. Just completely relax it. Your hand normally comes to this kind of a C-looking shape. Okay? And with that shape, just like that, just kind of bring that up to your guitar. This is actually, let's say, it's the 0 point of your muscles. There's two kinds of muscles that run in your hand, actually three kinds. But there's the two that we're going to talk about today. The ones that run on top, when I flex those, my finger goes up. When I flex the ones that run underneath, my finger goes in. So actually the 0 position is this rather C-looking form right here. That's where you want to start at. You don't want to start at an uncomfortable, stressful position or you'll never get the concepts that we're going to talk about. So take that relaxed hand, go ahead and put it up to your strings, and I've got to just kind of adjust it a little bit to get it on the strings. Okay? I'm going to put my thumb, just for our purposes right now, I'm going to put my thumb on the 6th string. Just going to set it right there. I'm going to put my first finger on the 3rd string. I'm going to put my second finger on that 2nd string and the 3rd finger on that 1st string. Got it? So we're dealing with the 6th string, the 3rd string, the 2nd string, and the 1st string. Now, as I fire my fingers, think of your fingers firing like a piston. As each one goes through its movements, you want to have freedom of motion. Now look what I had to do. I have to kind of bring my thumb forward just slightly and my wrist out. You don't want your wrist back in there like this, and you don't want to be like that. You may be tempted to do that because you think you kind of need all that pressure to do that. Actually, the best thing to do is bring that wrist out and that thumb forward slightly. Doesn't need to be way out of here, out of whack. Just forward a little bit slightly. Okay? And now we're going to fire all 4 of these, okay? So the thumb goes, and then first finger, second finger, and 3rd finger. Let's do that one more time. Thumb, first, second, 3rd. For our purposes, we're going to name these. In your book, they're going to be referenced as thumb will be T, first will be 1,